Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. Merle Dixon is a character that was in the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, the brother of Daryl. He was in season 1 for a couple of episodes, I believe. And then in season 2, he was MIA. He had cut his hand off because he was handcuffed to the top of a building and escaped, and we didn't see him again for a while. In the first season, that's basically his story in the first season. He's a racist, he's kind of a lunatic. I believe he liked meth. Like, I'm not even kidding. He was fun. I love Michael Rooker. I fucking love Michael Rooker. I will watch anything with Michael Rooker. He plays his character in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 that is just awesome, and like Call of Duty Black Ops 2, it's kind of like it has like some RPG elements where you can like decide, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Do you want to kill this person or do you want to kill that? Kind of like how BioWare does with like Mass Effect and KOTOR and everything. And there's a part of the game where like you have to kill Michael Rooker's character. Well, you don't have to, but if you don't kill him, it gets another woman killed, and then it causes some like negative consequences. But I can't do it. Like, I could play that game 50 times, and I always choose the ending where you don't kill him. I mean, it's like, wait a second, I got Merle Dixon, and I get to choose? Hell no, I'm not killing him. Fuck you, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I like the actor. He's great. He seems pretty awesome in interviews. But like, yeah, he did a good job just sort of playing like a racist asshole. But I think a lot of people liked him. Like, it was hard not to like him. I mean, you kind of, maybe you love to hate him or something like that. But he was really entertaining. I mean, you could argue that, in the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, keep in mind, this is before Abraham. Abraham was in season 4. That was his introduction. But in the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes was he didn't really start to become interesting until after he killed Shane. Before then, he was a normal guy, pretty much. You could argue that Merle Dixon was the most interesting character in the first 3 years. He kind of was. He was maybe not the most interesting, but like the most entertaining. Like, he just brought so much entertainment to every scene he was in. And I do feel like he was kind of underutilized. I mean, in the second season, he wasn't really in it at all. I mean, he wasn't in the story. His character didn't meet the other characters or anything. He was just in hallucinations. Daryl was, I think he was out looking for Sophia after she went missing, and then Daryl gets injured, and then he starts to hallucinate Merle. That's it. That's all we get of Merle in the second season. And in the first season, Merle was only in a couple of episodes, and he only interacted with, like, Rick, T-Dog, Morales, Andrea, Glenn. It was just them. And it was just Merle, like, on top of the building. Where, like, Merle didn't even get to do a lot. He was just in a couple of episodes. He gets handcuffed to a wall. And then handcuffed to a pipe, I'm sorry. And then he cuts off his hand and disappears, and that's it. He's just in a couple of episodes. He only interacts with a few characters. He didn't do very much, but just the very little bit that Michael Rooker got in season 1, he rocked it. I mean, he owned it. He was great. And then, like I said, season 2, he's just in a hallucination, and that's it. And then in season 3, he's in like 10, 11 episodes, and he has a decent part. He's mostly on the villains team. He's with the governor for a lot of his story. And then he's at the prison, and he tries to be a good guy for a little while. And then, of course, he basically goes out and he dies a heroic death. He basically one-man armies his ass and fights all of the governor and all the governor's people, and he kills like 10, 15 people, and of course the governor kills him, but like the governor like bites off one of his fingers and shoots him and beats the crap out of him, and Merle says, I'm not gonna beg, which, like, in the first season he was like begging God to give him a way out when he was handcuffed, so it's like he kind of went full circle. But I mean, overall, the character just didn't get a whole lot of material. He didn't get a lot of screen time. I looked it up. He's only in 14 episodes altogether. In the first 3 seasons, after he dies, he was only in 14 episodes. One of them was a hallucination. I don't know what they were trying to do there. Were they trying to just make him make us want more, like less is more or something? I don't know if I feel that way. I think he should have at least been in like 20, 25, 30 episodes. I personally like the idea of him living to season 4. I used to like T-Dog a lot, but out of all of the characters that died in season 3, and there were a lot, if I could pick one to make it to season 4, it probably would have been Merle. I mean, he's not... I like the character. He might be in like my top 10. He's not in my top 3 or top 5 or anything. He might be in my top 10. But as far as being underused, underutilized, low screen time, he's up there in like the top 3 for me. I just feel like he was one of the most underused characters in the entire show, and Michael Rooker should have gotten more to work with, and Merle Dixon should have had a bigger story. I think, he becomes one of the good guys, or he tries to become one of the good guys, and he doesn't get much of a chance. Like, literally, the episode where he actually tries to redeem himself is the episode where he dies. He and Carol have this little heart-to-heart conversation where Merle says that, Carol's a late bloomer, and Carol says, maybe you're a late bloomer. And it kind of sucks that right after that, Merle goes out and gets killed. I mean, no one really liked him. Like, no one really appreciated his sacrifice. He was going to deliver Michonne to the governor, but then he changes his mind. And I think Michonne kind of took notice of that, but she moved on. I don't think she really held on to the memory of Merle Dixon very much. Glenn hated him, and I don't necessarily blame Glenn, because Merle definitely caused some issues with Glenn and Maggie. And once Merle died, there just weren't a lot of characters that missed him. Probably just Daryl. That's it. There's no characters that were like, he died a heroic death. He did die a heroic death. He saved their asses. He went off by himself and killed like 15 of the governor's people before getting killed. That made a big difference. Like, Rick was going, like, the characters at the prison, there was like 10 of them. They're going to get killed. If it wasn't for Merle, they'd all probably get killed. Carol even says that Merle's death gave them a chance, and it did. Merle pretty much sacrificed himself to save his brother and Rick's group. And the only one that is really sad about him being gone is Daryl. And even in season 8, it seems like Daryl doesn't like him that much anymore, because like Tara tries to convince Daryl not to kill Dwight, and says, Merle, like, you and Merle, like, were like that, and then Daryl kind of says some nasty things about Merle. So it's like, dang, even Daryl doesn't care about Merle anymore. Like, no one cares about Merle's memory. No one likes Merle. And it's like, I know he was an asshole most of his life, but he did the right thing at the very end. He wanted to change at the very end. And I guess it's supposed to be tragic that right when he wants to be a good person, he goes off and does something that gets him killed. But it's like, the characters could have at least, like, I don't know, like, honored his memory or something, or had been sad that he was dead. Something like that would have been nice. And just overall, it just seemed like the character was needlessly underused and just needlessly underutilized. And I would have liked to have seen him get more screen time. And Michael Rooker was a very entertaining actor. And I don't necessarily think that killing off Merle so soon was worth it. I think it was like a last minute decision. It wasn't as last minute as Andrea, but it was sort of similarly last minute. And I think there were plans for him to be in season 4, and I can tell because he just didn't get, like, you could just tell that there was more story to tell with him. Like, the character had a lot more potential, and I think he was underused, and it just wasn't. Killing him off really just wasn't worth it. Like making him this short but sweet character, it just wasn't worth it. I mean, he was too awesome for that. Like, you should have just given him more. Kill him off in like the middle of season 4, the prison battle. The prison battle in the middle of season 4, you could have killed Herschel, the governor, and Merle in the same episode. That would have been sick. And Merle would have gotten more screen time. Merle would have gotten to, his relationship with his brother could have improved. His relationship with other characters like Glenn and Rick, like, could have improved. Like, imagine Merle, like, being a productive member of Rick's group at the beginning of season 4. Like, he's like a true member. Like, he's a true part of their family. Like, he's got like some military experience. Like, imagine like Merle and Rick having like some like, they're like strategizing and stuff like that, like having a couple little conversations like that. Maybe Merle and Glenn start to like each other, and when Merle dies, he's considered a true member of the family, which he wasn't when he died, because I guess it was just too little too late or something, even though he died for them, and he died a very heroic death and basically sacrificed himself. They didn't give a shit. They did not give a fuck. There's no one on The Walking Dead right now that cares about Merle's memory. No one that was alive back in season 3 cared about Merle's memory, except for maybe Daryl. And even Daryl moved on. So, yeah. Having Merle in season 4 would have been good. It would have given the character more screen time, a little bit more story. Maybe once he dies in season 4, you would have kind of felt like his character was complete. And like I said, I think the middle of season 4 would have made a big difference. It would have given Michael Rooker just that extra little bit that I think that they should have given him. And like I said, Herschel, the governor, and Merle all dying in the same episode during the prison battle would have been awesome. That would have been something that, like, people would talk about. I mean, people already talk about that episode, Too Far Gone, because it's a good episode. But just imagine if Merle had stayed on the show and he died in that episode too. That would have been pretty good. So, yeah, I think definitely Merle was underused, and he should have gotten more screen time. However, in saying that, I will give one positive little praise. I like to give credit where credit is due. The episode where Merle dies, it's called This Sorrowful Life. It's actually a really good episode. As far as a death episode goes, it's really good. It's completely dedicated to Merle. He gets a lot of screen time in that episode. It's a good episode. It's a good exit for his character. It's a good death episode. I think it was well made, well written. He didn't necessarily get a bad death. It's just it was so soon, and the character had so little screen time, and it's just so tragic that right when he wants to be a good person, he has to go get killed, and the characters don't even give a shit besides Daryl. That sort of sticks and kind of is just sort of disappointing, and not disappointing in a good way. It's just disappointing. So yeah, I think Merle should have lived longer. I think Michael Rooker should have gotten more material, and killing him off just because it's The Walking Dead and you needed to kill someone off, that's not a good reason to do it. You could have killed off 3 characters in one episode, like I just said, if you had been patient and waited. Have that slow burn with Merle, and then boom, Herschel, Merle, the governor, all die and Too Far Gone. And Merle would have gotten more screen time. His friendships with the characters would have evolved. He could have died a similar death. He literally could have pretty much gotten the same death. The governor was the one attacking, so Merle could have literally gotten that same exact death. But the difference would have been he got more screen time. He made it to the middle of season 4. His relationship with Glenn, Daryl, Rick, whoever else it could have evolved, and it would have just been a more complete story arc, a more complete death of the character, and it would have been killing 3 main characters in one episode, which the show has never done. They might do it for the 12 Heads on Spikes, but so far they've never killed 3 main characters in one episode. So yeah, I think he should have lived to season 4. I think he should have been killed off in Too Far Gone, and his death in season 3, episode 15, was too soon. Although it was a good episode, and I enjoy watching it. I think it might even be one of the best episodes of season 3, maybe one of the 4 or 5 best. You know, along with episodes like Clear and Killer Within that I really like. It was a good episode, but it was just he was killed off way too soon, and he should have been killed off and Too Far Gone. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Merle should have lived longer? Do you like his death? Just let me know what you guys think, and as always, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now, we are at 315 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 400 in the next few months, so we are just 85 away from 400. We're getting to that goal. Just keep subscribing. Every subscriber counts. Every little subscriber counts. I promise, every subscriber counts, and every bit of support matters a whole lot to me. I really appreciate all of you guys and every little bit of support that you guys have given this channel. It makes a big difference. I promise. I'm so happy with how the channel is going right now. But yeah, anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.